Triple header. It's going down, family. We in for the triple up. It's the Truth Hour with General Sara. Seti. Kick back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com online marketplace. Official General Sara Seti DVD lectures. Right now at this time, we got 20% off DVD lectures. T-shirts and hoodies for the kings and the queens. We got African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic herbal tonics and remedies, home decor accessories for every room in the house. 20% off at this time. KingSeti.com. Pull the fire alarm. GeneralSeti.com. Seti University. Over 900 videos on African history, heritage, spirituality, and nation building. Developing the Black nation one lesson at a time. The complete General Sara Seti website. Get on over there, join today, and unlock all those gems and jewels. General Seti, keep it popping on Patreon, BPC, making noise. We never calm. Exclusive live streams, too hot to handle. For YouTube, highlighting was ancient Egypt, powered by vibranium-like stones from the Congo. Powerful. Nothing but the truth. Get over there, Patreon, General Seti. Join today and unlock a treasure chest of nothing but wisdom, gems, and jewels by the General. That's right. Subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sara Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. You be up out of here. That's right. Boop. Out of there. All right. Powerful one today. We talking about 90 seconds to doomsday. 90 seconds to doomsday. These crazy people even got a goddamn clock. Got a clock. Talking about, we the closest we ever been for these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals to lose all what little brain they got and go ahead and, and blow the world up. You see? And so there's, and so with all that's going on today, you got the United States at odds with China, with Russia, with Iran, with North Korea, with Venezuela, all these nations, you're at odds. And so they linking up. They trying to build some axes, you see, to try to combat the Great West. So they say the Great is just another crusade. Another crusade about to go on. When they talk about there ain't nothing but a crusade. You see? And so, I guess, these empires are at, at a point. You see, they come in and, and they want to see, America is supposed to be the greatest nation that ever existed. Even though it's only a couple hundred years old, this motherfucker could fall. You wouldn't even know it ever existed. You see, you wouldn't even know 200 ain't, goddamn, that's about the same length of Greece. They don't tell you that. You see, there wasn't no long-lasting civilizations. Them civilizations didn't last that long. You see? And so, you got to be mindful of that. The track record. And so let's look at some things, family. Let's look at some things of what's going on out here. Well, that's not the one. Well, it is. It is. It is. All right. And so, right here, you're looking at what they call the Indian Ocean Federation. Indian Ocean Federation, all these nations here. And so, this is going to be, and so I already told you, this is the second world. when you're looking at the second world, the first world is Africa. You see, the first world is Africa. That's where all civilization began. And so the world, what was known as the world in them times was just the continent. The brothers had not even moved from the continent yet. They hadn't went out. They hadn't gone out into the what you call East and West Asia. Haven't even left. But when they did, that would be the first geographical location which they would navigate and move to, in a motion of adventure and exploration. You see, they moved into the west and east of Asia, and from there they established all great civilizations that you know of in those areas, from what is today known as Mesopotamia, India, even southern China, even Angkor Wat and Champa, which I'm going to talk about Angkor Wat and Champa tomorrow. You see, all of those islands were Kushite. Everything you see in yellow was Kushite before any of the peoples that you see in there today. It wasn't none of those people. Those are the latecomers, you see, but it show you because the Africans went in and being the explorers, being the great explorers that they were, they pinpointed all the great areas of resource. You see, they ain't what the world is doing is they fighting over what our people had established tens of thousands of years ago. Our family was the ones that pinpointed all of the natural resources in the areas of importance, and they set up colonies in them areas. In every one of them areas, you see the peoples is fighting, trying to seize that power. You see, just like I showed you yesterday, we didn't, I didn't even know there was a where. Let me see. No, this ain't the one. We got family sitting off in the middle of the Indian Ocean, right here. Let me get it over there. And I talked about them. Chagosians. Okay, sitting in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Nobody even know they out there. You see, okay, I got that map. Well, I do got it in there already. Right? Let me drop it in there. You see? And so you see right there, all you see is Diego Garcia, U.S. Navy base. They don't tell you that's an archipelago, and which is a chain of islands. You see a chain of islands, about 100 islands. You see, and you see this is the Chagosians. You see our family Africans, Kushites. You see, wait a minute, let me show you how far it is. Now this map has it. You see, and we still on there, but we showing you where it's gonna pop off, because this is the reason why they got that base out there, because they if they have to strike, you see, they got to be in an area where they can get there pretty quick. You see, and so you see here, these is the bases that the U.S. got, and you see right there, down here. Matter of fact, you can't even see it because I got to. Let me get that give down. You see down there at the bottom, Diego Garcia, British Indian Ocean Territory. How the hell the British gets in? You far away from home, Britain. That ain't your land. How the hell you get some British Indian Territory? You see? And you ain't even got no India no more. Unless you're in there under the surface, which they probably is. You see? They probably still in there. And you see, so you got you got bases all around, circling, and quiet as kept. They trying, and since they've been beefing with China, and Russia, they didn't bolstered all that. They in the act of bolstering that because they know that it's gonna go down. You see, they know that it's gonna go down. So you got Japan, you got South Korea, Guam, Hawaii, Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand. And so you see, and so this is all areas, that, from ancient times that our people, had already pinpointed, these strategic areas. They had already pinpointed these strategic areas. And so, they're fighting over, the global layout that our people put down. But you see, right there over there in that South China Sea, you can see the United States surrounded it. You see? And so that's why they didn't went in there, and they got that what you call, well, they didn't took over. They didn't took over where that map at. Wait a minute. Oh, what is Champa? Okay, I got it over here. Let me see. Well, maybe I don't, but I'm about to grab it real quick. There it go, right there. So y'all can see what's going on over there. Okay, here go one. I like a better map than that. Well, that's a nice one right there. That's a nice one. But it got too much going on. That map too busy. It got too much going on. Let me go back. I'll take this one. I'll take this one. Okay. Let me drop it in. Okay. So since you see right there, you can see the U.S. then surrounded it. So really, this area in here is of strategic importance to China. You see, because they got some islands in there too. But from my understanding, that there's been rulings like any islands in the middle here should be left neutral, that nobody should be able to set up. But China ain't going for that. You see, because the U.S. then already got bases all around there. So they feel like shit, if they don't get some stake in the game, they're gonna be in for, it's no way out. You see? And so you see that they didn't went and China then took over a lot of these islands in here. You see, which is supposedly, supposed to be neutral, that no country, because you got the Philippines, you got Vietnam, you got Taiwan, you see. And so, China didn't move, and you supposedly got so much water, you see. And so 200 nautical yards, miles off of, a person's borders, is supposedly they territorial domain. And so from my understanding, China then went on in there and they don't give a damn, because they know if you look at where they at and see that, damn, they already damn surrounded. And so they figuring that if they don't, maybe somebody else will, and establish, and then they in for a rude awakening. You see, you in for a rude awakening. So all these nations are technically against China because they want to own the whole waterway. They want to own the whole South China Sea. Now it's called the South China Sea. You see, but some of these nations, they went on in there and renamed them. They didn't rename the water to something of their own. So that you can see the sovereignty in the area. So they've officially renamed it. But this is what it's boiling down, because so much economy moved through there for the West. You see? So much. And so if China sees it, then you in trouble. The West would take a very serious hit. You know what I'm saying? Let me see how much the world's economy moved through there. Oh, no. I put no. Let me get it in there. I'm trying. How much world trade passed it? Here you go. It says 60%. Wait a minute. One third of global shipping. 1/3 of global shipping. So that's 1/3. You see, so that's a big percentage. You see, that's a big percentage. 1/3 of global shipping moves through the South China Sea. So that and for you will topple empires. You will topple empires if if China to go in there and do what they're doing, and that's why you see the United States still moving through there. You see they still moving through there, and they're not going because they know it's going to topple them. Period. It's going to topple them for them, and so and so you see, that's why they continuously militarizing Taiwan. You see, making sure they got some things. Philippines decide on, and they already know because and I just see it as I'm not I'm just calling it like it is. You see, United States ain't got no choice because if they don't, it's over for them. It's over. They won't have the type of power that they did if they lose this area. You see, they're gonna start becoming like little Britain. You see how Britain was once a big power and this, that, and the third, and then people start to grow and they became more revolutionary, and a lot of them colonies became too revolutionary for them to hold. And so militarily. But a lot of times when they leave, they got their claws in the they hid. They be like roaches in the wall. You see, they be like roaches. You don't see them, but they there. All you had to do is catch them. You waited late at night and you turn the light on, bling, and motherfuckers be out there dancing. You know what I'm saying? They be in. They in there now. They in there, but you don't see them. You see, that's how they do it. And you thinking you free and all of that, and so, but they can't. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. They ain't ready. Britain ain't like they can take their ass to a whole lot of countries. If it ain't got the United States, they done for. You see, if they ain't, and so that's the way it is. They ain't got the United States, they done for. And so if you see what's happening, you see, and I'm quite sure the United States know that, when you start losing them primary pieces, you understand, that keep you at the top. You see, you already know what that's gonna lead to. You see, you already know what that's gonna lead to, and so they're jockeying for power. You see, they're jockeying for power, and so you see, even on the other side with Ukraine, you see, and so they got multiple, they got multiple encounters that's going on, and also dealing with North Korea. And North Korea seem to just be out of control. Nobody really can control them right now. You see what I'm saying? That man doing whatever he want to do, and he daring their ass and shit. He just shooting them out there like they little bottle rockets. You see what I'm saying? He lighting them motherfuckers up and shooting them out there, and ain't nobody saying nothing because he's demonstrating that he'll let it fly. You know what I'm saying? And so he's saying that, and they let him. And, I ain't going to say, you knew what he was doing, you see, and you let him go on ahead. And the reason why they didn't jump on North Korea because they knew that China and Russia wasn't going to, they wasn't going to stand by and watch it. You see, and so if they jump on him, they jump on old North Korea. You see, Russia and they gonna. I mean, if they gonna fight for Ukraine, you think they ain't gonna fight for North Korea and it's sitting right there on their doorstep too? You see what I'm saying? China and Russia. You see, they don't want the United States to be that far up on them, and you know what I'm saying? And but to look at it from the United States standpoint, is that China is growing in power, and either you gonna try to curtail the power, you see, or you gonna be dealing with an adversary almost your equal. You see, China still got to prove itself on the battlefield, though. You see, just because you got, planes and shit and all of that, China ain't been fighting no major wars and shit. And so that's where, I don't care what you got to put that, so they got all the weaponry and shit that they got. That shit got to be proven. You know what I'm saying? And so, they're just like Russia. Everybody was talking about Russia. Man, and Ukraine is giving them the blues. You see what I'm saying? They supposed to been and made them bow down by now. You see what I'm saying? And they have not done that. They have not done that. You see, and that just show you that it's a lot of hype with some of these, and very well might be some hype with China. You see, a lot of, if you ain't scrapping and you ain't and your soldiers ain't ready and they ain't veterans on the battlefield, and you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to to practice, but when your ass in a real fucking war and shit get to happening that you ain't used to, you see what's gonna be your response. And so you got don't and people got to understand it, as we look at China and say, oh shit, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? They doing the same thing. That motherfuckers ain't ready. They know. They done seen the track record of this beast. They done seen, shit. You don't know where this beast ready to go. And so that's where you got to understand that. You got to understand that. So they both jockeying. All three, and it's a battle. It's a battle. And if it go down, you already see you got China, you got Iran, you got Russia, you got, those will probably be the three, and North Korea. You see, but North Korea, China, Russia, and then you're gonna have United States and you're gonna have NATO. You see, and and you're gonna have NATO, and they sitting right next door to one another. So that's gonna be total devastation over there. You see, you think World War II or something and shit, and they bombed a lot of shit up in World War II. You see, they devastated that shit over there. They bombed damn near everything. You know what I'm saying? And so, but this gonna make that shit look like a water gun fight. You see, it's gonna make it look like a water gun will fight. And if they let this shit fly, You know, this atmosphere gonna be fucked up. The soil gonna be fucked up. You see, it's gonna be people to survive it, but it's gonna be a different world. It's gonna be a different world, and that just show you. A lot of people talk about, you know, the advancement. These peoples is sick. You didn't develop military to the point where you could just devastate the planet. And you know what I'm saying? This is the greatest shit that they done ever created. When you talk about the European, people say, what's the greatest invention of all? And it's his ability to be able to destroy damn near everybody on the planet. Wow. That's a very intelligent motherfucker. It seems to me that if you could spend that kind of time in developing, then you swear then why couldn't they develop something that, you know, would be more, uplifting, because it ain't in them. You see, the lust to control everything. You see the lust. There's all these motherfuckers. The lust to have other people's lands. The lust to have all the resources. You see, and why, the rest of the world is, and so you want it all to the point that you rather say, well, it's too many people on the planet. Let's go on and get rid of them. You rather eradicate so you could have it all. You can have it all and justify well, there's too many people on the planet anyway. Let's get rid of them. Ain't enough resources. Well, motherfucker, they was in their own land. What the fuck you mean? They was doing fine before you showed up. That just show you though. And we always talk about and black on black crime and shit. Well, look at this. Nobody talk about white on white crime. Look at white on white crime. White on white crime about to destroy the goddamn planet. Nigga fuck up their own neighborhood, but goddamn, and that I'm not justifying that at all. It's a very sick thing, even in that, how we do ourselves. But we have to understand that these peoples is, when we look at other peoples, they just, it's the whole world, because the Western, cloud of killer be kill and all of that is glooming over this planet. You see what I'm saying? That's just the real talk. You see, and so the sickness is all over. But when we talk about white on white crime got a doomsday clock. You see, niggas can do whatever, and destroy themselves in their own goddamn community. But the rest of these people live around that. It's not in threat of the world and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's in threat of our world. You see what I'm saying? But when you talk about white on white crime, as we can see here today on a global level, it is threatening the existence of this planet. Period. And that just show you, don't tell me nothing about, yes, we all, and we must address the shit that's going on in our community. But with something like this looming over our head, where this shit ain't even got nothing to do with nobody but them. And here it is, the world is under threat because it's two cavemen. You understand what I'm saying? Knuckles still dragging the ground. You understand what I'm saying? With the lust to control everything, you see, is threatening the world. And so that just show you, we as Kushite, African people, you see, when we vacated, when you vacate your throne, you see, this is the thing where, see, we can delegate the planet. They can't delegate the planet. They can't do that. They can't do that. And that's what happens when you falsify information. Motherfuckers talking about we all the same. We're not all the same. Stop that damn line. No, we're not. No, we're not. You can see when you go to Africa, you see pyramids. You see great civilizations all over Africa. North to south, east to west. We created great civilizations. At no time have we, in all the things that we've created, have we ever created anything to threaten life on the planet? Period. You see what I'm saying? We got, we brought, the pleasures of civilization all over. You see, everywhere in under the, even the Greeks talk about how, our spirit was so peaceful. You see, and we were full of wisdom and peace, and we were long lived. You see, even the Greeks talk about that. The happy Ethiopians. You see, blameless. These is from their mouth. This is from their mouth. And so this is, this shows and so we didn't have this, but see, the thing is, there's an enigma. There's a new virus on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? And we didn't, we didn't have no immunity for that shit. You see, and it caught us, and you see, and we weren't able to, before we couldn't get it out of us in time before, you know what I'm saying, we was overcome. You see, we couldn't come up with an antidote for it in time before we were overcome, and we've been ill ever since. We've been ill every fucking since, and but we know what to do, but it takes great heart to move forward. You see, it takes great heart because we got to see where it's gonna go, and if we don't rise to the occasion before we get there, we ain't gonna have this chance again. We're gonna been lost our chance. You see, we think we can move on just, and we talk about, uplifting and uplifting, but we have to check this. We can't just run and just, and no, we have to check this. We can't run in another look, like I say, we talk about going to Africa, and we can go to Africa, but that don't mean that that has, that's the cure of this disease that's on the planet. Yes, we should go back to Africa, but this, like I said, we in the gut over here. If you in the West, you in the gut. If you in America, you in the gut. But the beast got a big belly. The gut just the bottom. You see, you just in the bottom. Wherever you at, you in the bottom. You in the gut. But you can't run because he got a big belly. You see what I'm saying? And so and so we have to deal with it, one way or another. And so a lot of people say, well, we can't separate. Yes, you can separate. See, people don't understand in their mind, what separation means. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people say, oh, you can't separate. Yes, you can. Don't tell that goddamn lie. Yes, you can. See, it's your understanding of what separation is. The white man's separated from every fucking body on this planet. Whether you in the nation or not, he's separated. You see, separation don't necessarily mean that you outside of the national boundary, but in your mind, in your daily practice. See, when you look at their economy in their system, in their community, they never let at least 95, 96, 97% of their community is owned by their community. They keep that shit up there in that, that 90s, that 96, 97%. They give a motherfucker 3% of their community where you can own some shit in their shit. Other than that, so what is that? That's separation. That's separation. That's separation. So just because you in there, they separated. Okay, they keeping them percentiles high. You see, when you go to when you talk about their schools, them top schools that they keep their goddamn shit high. They separated. See, the thing is, niggas. You see, they can't talk about it because they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing to goddamn, but if they had, and they do have some things, if they could, but their minds is separated. They, they mind, African people, and only way that we could do that is we have to be unified. So we can take that wealth and we can, whatever we got, we can make it work. We can make it work. Yes, we can. Motherfuckers say, yes, we can. We can make it work. And if they try to move on that, then you didn't play your last card. Okay, motherfucker, we gonna do this on our own. We don't need none. It's enough of us. We're gonna put our coins together. We're gonna stop going out there. And goddamn it, if we have to, if we had to come up, and we have to scuff our knees up a little bit and our elbows, because you know what I'm saying, we got to work, you know what I'm saying, to get where we need, we'll do that. You see what I'm saying? It won't be long and we'll get it rolling. You see, but you know, that's the separation. When we say where we gonna go, that's the separation. We ain't got to go nowhere to be separate. You see what I'm saying? We don't have to, and so we could do that. So there must be a separation. You know what I'm saying? Because look at where we at. You see, we ain't got shit. You see, if we don't separate, that means we conceding the fact that we gonna let these people have what the fuck they got in our community. You see, separation means we gonna pull back from sending our money to them. You see, we gonna pull back. That means we separate. That don't mean we ain't in the same, cities or the same state. You see what I'm saying? But we gonna pull back our money. We gonna separate, and we gonna keep this money within our own goddamn community. You see, people don't want to talk about separation because they got deep down inside, they got crackatosis. You see, that's really what it boiled down to. You see, you separate first in your mind. You see, you separate. Get that white God out, get that white worship out. You see, all of that. And venerate and understanding what they doing. You see, we say we can't do it. You see, we look at our children and we say, you know what? And our children, they growing up, they want to do big things. They want, and we should endorse them. We should be able to endorse them. You see, we should put ourselves in it to, because that's our future. They're going to be the ones, those are our Jews. You know what I'm saying? Those are our Jews, our children. We keep them polished, you know what I'm saying? And they are the Jews in the crown of the nation. And so we had to keep them polished, but we give the inheritance of our children over to their children. So that, you see the Arabs and all of that and shit, they children riding around in your neighborhood in Mercedes-Benz truck, Range Rovers and all of that. And you know who put them in it? You did, nigga. You did. They come down here, they got traps. All them gas stations, them traps. You see, they trapping all through this motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you bring all your money in there and they give it to them, and they babies is able to, get all the things, the car, the houses, the educations and shit, and this, that, and the third, so they can continue and perpetuate the slave master and the slave relationship. It don't make no goddamn sense. So when you continue to take your money over there every fucking day, you know what you're doing. There's no fucking excuse at this late date, because the existence of our people is at stake. And if you cannot see that, and you can't find it in your mind, in your heart, to see that this is greater than that little penny ante ass shit that you be thinking about every day, is about a greater thing of our future, to look into the future and see your descendants, you see, and you have a stake in what they future look like right now by the things that you decide to do as an African today. You determine where they gonna be in the future, 2 generations down. And if you decide to continue to do the sick shit that you do every day, knowing it's gonna put your descendants in an even worse situation, then I said it time and time before that the youth is gonna have to revolt on their elders. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to revolt. They're gonna have to revolt. They're gonna have to revolt. They ain't gonna have no choice. They're gonna have a civil war within the Black community of those that demand change and refuse another fucking generation of slavery. They're gonna have to refuse it in totality. And they're gonna have to look at their own elders that want to decide to continue and perpetuate this slavery. And they're gonna have to say no more. They're gonna have to drop the gauntlet down on them and say no more. You see, and so this is where we at today. You see, this is where we at, so that we could put ourselves in a much stronger position as we look at what's happening, that, in this, this doomsday situation that we don't have nothing to do with. You see, and at the end, as I end here, some Africans is going to put their hands in that. They're going to put their hands in that. And that's a fool's decision. Africa need to stay out of that situation. It's all right to engage in commerce, but Africans got to learn how to strike a deal and send a motherfucker home. Y'all motherfuckers is, y'all become goddamn roommates and shit, and then they end up taking over the whole house and kicking your ass out. You invite them in, you understand what I'm saying? And before long, they kicking your ass out and they own your house. They in your house. You see, and then they be looking through the window at you and shit, laughing at you. You see what I'm saying? As you out there, you understand? Another generation lost. You see, so family, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. This is the time. It's a serious, serious situation for the love of self, love of family, love of nation. Do for self first and foremost. Marcus Garvey say black first. General Seti say black only. Black only. We ain't got no room for nobody else at this table. Nobody but African people. That's it. That's the only people that can eat at this table. We can build, and we can make a deal. We can make deals. But after we make this deal, and it got to be a promising deal for us, you got to go home. Ain't no more you coming. Man, I got to tell you, man, I do some more videos coming up. Yeah, they letting them in, man. They letting them in, and they just don't understand. And some of them do. And they just starting, it's a continuation of, what has been going on in Africa for the last 200 years. It's still going on even right now today. You see what I'm saying? It's still going. The thing, and I'm going to leave with this, and I'm going to tell you, you see, they've been eating, they've been eating so long off of Africa. You see, their bellies is so full from eating off of Africa. It's hard for them, you know what I'm saying, to come off of that. You see, it's hard for them to, and so they, everybody then seen, okay, this is how the Europeans and how, America got so strong and so rich, you see, off of slavery. And so now you got other nations like India and China and Russia. You see, they wasn't with the, the early colonization. They are part of the new colonization. Yeah, we're gonna offer, and they all, it's a trick bag because they all in it. You see, oh, we better than the West. Yeah, we better. Come on, let me build your ships, and let me build your railroads, and let me build this, that, and the third in your house. And they got the same little fine print down there where they talking about if you don't pay, they gonna own ports. Why you think United States got ports all over the fucking place? Damn, y'all motherfuckers didn't sign, y'all didn't sign. Did you read that little hand? If you default on the loans and shit, that they get ports and shit. They get you see, they get all type of airports and seaports and you see. And so that's just bullshit, man. Come on, let's get it together, family. Thank you for being here today. I'm out. Get it together. Just, something to spark the mind. Get it together. We all we got. This is the general saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education. KingSeti.com. 20% off at this time. Seti University, over 900 fire. Binge on Black Power. Patreon, fire. Gems and jewels you can only unlock on Patreon. All right, family. Black Pop.